when you say yes and you really mean no, you're out of integrity. I often get clients who say that they don't like letting people down. And it's interesting because it sounds like a strength, yet often it's running their life. They're in the middle of something, a priority that they wanted to complete, and someone says, "Can you help with this?" They drop everything to help that person. And again, what's building underneath is a level of resentment, a level of pressure, because two things are happening. One is that this belief that I don't like letting people down fundamentally starts to become an identity. And if that's your identity, then what occurs is you will always behave that way to match that belief and that identity. Fundamentally, what you're doing is looking for external validation. The truth is, the tension is between identity and integrity. Because when you say yes and you really mean no, you're out of integrity. That's why the resentment builds up, and at times that's why the guilt builds up. So what happens is that we are so invested in what other people think of us. We are so concerned that if we let people down, they won't like us, they won't approve of us. And remember, one of the fundamental needs of the human is a need for belonging. We need to belong. We are a herd animal. And so that driver can be so deep for people. If they let people down, they won't like me. And if they don't like me, I may be ostracized. I may not fit in anymore. And of course, that's the intellectual response. The conscious and unconscious belief, if I let people down, then I won't be a good man. I won't be a reliable man. I won't be the man that I say I am. And if I'm not a good man, then I'm not good enough. So it always links to that deep, fundamental programming that we got as children, that I'm not good enough. Just as I am, I'm not enough. And this is where it'll all start, in your family of origin. Somewhere it was important to you to keep somebody else happy. That fundamental desire to keep mum or dad or caregiver happy, because that's how we grew up. We're looking for approval. Our approval was based on our behavior, based on our performance. It wasn't based inherently because of who we are. And so the first piece is this belief in this identity that I don't let people down. That's the intellectual, but underneath that is the emotional. Because what happens is that if we say no, if we're willing to truly set boundaries, it's uncomfortable. Often you feel a level of guilt and you feel all of these emotions. Remember, behind every decision and every block, there'll be an emotion. In every relationship I've worked with, the biggest block is an emotion that's not acknowledged. And so it's not just the belief, I don't want to let people down. It's actually the discomfort of executing on your truth, your authenticity. And this again is the tension. What's fascinating though is that because this identity, because this role, because this mask of being a good man, of not letting people down is so strong and so wound into our egoic mind, that we're actually living out of integrity. And I see men, very successful leaders, who say integrity is one of my highest values. I just don't tell my truth in those moments. Because my truth is, it's important for me to set a boundary. I've got to manage my energy. If I've already committed to something and someone phones and says, "Can you do it?" I'm out of integrity if I drop everything to do that. So that desire for approval overrides the integrity and truth of who you are. And over a period of time, we start to lose the ability to connect with our truth, our essence, in each moment. Because that overriding through the fear of discomfort puts us further and further away from the man that we are, the truth of who we are. And so it's not really that you don't have time to do everything. It's just that you're not willing to face the discomfort to set those boundaries. If this landed for you, go to the link below to check out the True Freedom Plan. This is the map from the Success Mountain to the Freedom Mountain.